Board games. I might be talking about ITB and RPGs. And I'm not going to shout. Yeah. So, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. It's been a weird week, but it's still 10 a.m. I'm still doing my busy beats and board game blether, maybe with a few fewer beats. I am feeling a bit bleh today, feeling a bit rubbish. Yeah, I don't know if I've got a tummy bug or something. I am pretty, um, partially feeling physically unwell and partially feeling super stressed, partially just wanting to hide away from everything forever and just be like, yeah, to heck with all of this. But there have been some good bits. So let's talk about recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights. And what have I been up to? Um, Board Game Arena. I mean, it's nice to kind of have some company and playing games, starting with not knowing the rules, but then going through and being given advice and being like, okay, maybe that isn't a game for me, but I played according to rules. I've got a vague understanding of that. Okay, this is interesting. This is definitely a game for me when I can think more. This is interesting. This is definitely a game I would like to play more and explore more. And just trying out all the things on Board Game Arena, I'm enjoying that. So yeah, I think that for me, Board Game Arena is definitely the highlight. And of course, whilst it is a bit chillier and everything than I would like, I am happy to have warmth, I'm happy to have radiators, I'm happy to have access to running water, and yeah. Also, it's kind of, I'm not going to say sunny, but there is sunlight shining through the clouds. I mean, it's so white sky, it's not a black night. But anyway, brilliant thing, brilliant thing. What's a little thing which is brilliant? Um, yeah, I don't normally do corporate, you know, companies. This isn't sponsored or anything, but you know what? I'm going to say a board game arena. It's not perfect. Obviously, there's other things that like boardspace.net and Yucata and a lot of other things do exist. But I think that getting to play stuff online with other people and having it controlled is brilliant because when you're just feeling bleh, but you still want to move some stuff around and you can just click randomly if your brain is complete, absolute mush. Yeah. As always, feel free to comment, ask questions from like, follow, and I am sorry that this isn't a more exciting, positive, riveting chat. The one thing I would like to say as a small highlight is I found out about this itch thing. So this is what I really wanted to talk about today. I, want, I wanted to talk about yeah, hey, check it out. This is a whole bunch of games that you can get for a tenner. Like, so it's £1,533 normally for £10. It's 149 games. It's like, even if you only felt it's like, okay, well, I don't like paying much for those things. Like, that's 149 games for £10. Well, not even £10. £8.44. It's $10. It's not even £10. So if you click in, I will show you like if you pay up, then you can sort of gets access, and you will see 5 full pages of all of these things, and it's just wow, so much. Um, so I've looked at a few of them. Mirrors Are Burning, which is a one um, page RPG, like more of an experiment, it feels like. Probably not going to play this one. There's some which are about traditional fantasy, where it's about journaling, building up a story. Then I looked at Tribute. Um, I could go into the thing, and I'm not going to show you the whole page because then that's taking away the stuff from the people who made this. But this is just a beautiful story about using it says a discarded or scavenged bone. So you take an actual bone, and over the course of 1 month, each day, you look at the weather and then you decorate it in different ways, and you ask yourself a question. And it can be about um, a way to, with these games, it feels like some of them are really about building up a fiction. Some of them seem to be about just a meditative activity of saying, well, this is something that I need to deal with. I need to process the grief, and this set of rules is going to help me overcome this. And I'm going to play this game in order to process this grief in my own way. And I think it's just a beautiful thing how we've got the entire spectrum. And some of the games are a bit more expansive. Like this is 10 pages, and um, they, yeah, I mean, like most of the pages have like a lot of a bit more. This is feels like a bit more of an adventure thing. I've only skimmed this one, and then Mandrake Sanctuary, which is just a lovely, wholesome game where it's about being chill and just enjoying life. It seems like the sort of harvest moon type thing of enjoying a bit of time together. And I don't know what solo RPGs. I mean, so it's quite possible that you know more than me. I mean, here's one by Anna Blackwell, I think. Friend of the show. Is that by Anna Blackwell? Um, Yeah, that is Anna Blackwell, who I don't know if I've had her on the show, but Anna's a lovely person from based near my hometown of Glasgow. Um, don't like to say too much about other people, but yeah, and so much to check out. I'm really excited to look at these. Um, how do you add meaning? You are a characteristic. Solo RPG about a wandering warrior, um, exploring a castle and lost memories. Soft tabletop RPG, I love you. I've no idea what this even is. Um, and looking through these pages, it kind of reminds me of um, when I first discovered video games, when I first discovered like Arkanoid and Prince of Persia, and then school days and all those things on the spectrum. I was thinking, wow, this is amazing. And part of what attracts me to making games, to even interacting and playing those games, is the idea that um, you never know what you're going to get. Like all of these things are offering different experiences. Each one, it's not just about looking at a thing and that's it. It's about taking you on a proper journey. And I think that's beautiful. Um, I mean, I'm actually going to. I mean, from and whatever your mood. I mean, they're like I remember Doshin the Giant for the GameCube, which did disappoint me. But like the promise of that, the promise of black and white, is wonderful. And um, I think the most important thing is that we give ourselves space and we just see like what's really going on. Make a monster, flip the switch. A short solo game for bad nights. Haunting a bed and breakfast around Halloween, that sounds fun. Loving a malicious monarch. Just trying to get by. A game to play to distract yourself from work. A game about starting World War III. Solo journaling game about wanting to be alone in the woods. Olo survival horror. I mean, there's a lot of one-page things here, and I mean, some of them are basically just a short joke, and reading the rules gives you a good idea of what it says, but then to actually play it is different because it's not about just reading it and pondering it, and it's more interactive than a book. It's more interactive than a painting or OK Cryptid, a game for finding mysterious creatures and hopefully kissing them. I mean, it's about giving yourself space to explore these things as much as you want. Because it's solo, I guess you can just do whatever you want, and if you want to change the rules, then fine. If you want to say, well, I've gotten enough out of this, then fine. Sometimes the rules are deliberately vague because they assume that you know what works best for you. We don't need to tell you exactly how long to do this thing for. We don't need to tell you what counts as decoration. We don't need to tell you what counts as a bone. I mean, you work out what works for you. And if you're going to engage with it, then try to fully engage with it. It reminds me of when I used to go to Iran in summers, and I I used to really hate it. I used to think, why am I even here? And always be thinking about all the video games that I could have been playing if only I were back home, and why am I not there? And then one year I decided, okay, I need to really embrace it, and I'm going to go here. I don't have any choice, so let's just enjoy it. And so, if you are going to play an RPG about hope and determination, then it's okay to read halfway through and decide this isn't for me. But if you're going to do it wholeheartedly. I think that's a lesson that I can definitely remind myself of. Post haste. I mean, that just sounds funny. You're a tortoise, and today you're delivering post. I mean, yeah, honestly, I'm having a really rough weekend, not gonna lie. And some of these are not things that I want to look at. I don't want to think about, I'm not that excited about space trading or fantasy and I definitely don't want to think about being in hospital or, loss or whatever. But things that seem slightly whimsical, a game to build your own website in 2002. I mean, a walk in the sunshine. That sounds like something that might be sort of, yeah, enjoyable and be a bit positive. Will you be able to fill out enough orders to keep your farm thriving? And the fact that it's got 6 files, I might be wrong, but so okay, there's a lot of different things, and this actually has a game board. But The fact that there's multiple files, I kind of assume, okay, this is a bit more. On a bookmark about a rook who wants to read with you. Is your blog worth saving? A wretched and alone game. No, I'm not gonna read that. I don't want to do anything right now that talks about being wretched. Constellations. That sounds cute. And they say about not judging a game by its cover, but what can we do? I mean, we don't have time to look at everything, so it's like it's a game about hermit crabs finding shells and other finding other hermit crabs. I mean, in this context, sure, we know it's a solo RPG, but normally people don't know. Hex crawl. Does that mean like there's a combination of yeah, I'm actually going to open this up. I'm wondering, does that mean that there's a combination of um a board? Yeah, it looks like there is. There's a little hex map. It looks very technical. Maybe hex crawl isn't for me, but then that's okay because there's a whole lots of other things. So many other things. Um, Fire sauce fever dream session and investigation. Unrequited love. Wretched and alone. You're sick and it's your fault. Oh, that sounds horrible. I mean, some people. I mean, when I say it sounds horrible, I just mean it doesn't sound like what I want right now. And for all these people, I mean, all of these are labors of love. And thank you to everyone who's been putting these things in. I mean, I really want um, just something kind of wholesome and easy. In revisionist historian, it sounds slightly dark, but oh, I love time travel. Sounds interesting. Striving to live before they die. Telling cool girls neat adventures. Heck. There's a lot of things about loss and saying goodbye. I think that's because those are themes that just really sparked imagination, and everyone, it's something that lots of people need to deal with. And maybe there are, it is maybe an exploration of what is and what could be and what we want. I mean, sorry, there's something flying around. Like what is in our life? Like we make things based on what we see. We oh cool. I guess there's the Winnie the Pooh now that it's um in public domain. Experienced magic. A neat little ribbon. A game about giving gifts. That sounds lovely. And so I am going to explore all these things and yeah, maybe tell you little bits about them. Um, my yeah, my next few streams are probably just going to be what I've been up to, games I've played, whatever. But before I skedaddle, question of the day, question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on. Question of the day is: do you have a favorite color of underwear? I was going to say pants, But then, I mean, I quite like red, but black's also good. Yeah, for me, first choice is red, second choice is black. I mean, I don't think it takes a genius to, I mean, know my first choice. But do you have a preference on your preferred color of underwear that you're willing to share? And yeah, these questions of the day are getting. And if you don't want to share that, do you have a preferred color of socks? So I'm going to tell you that my favorite color for socks is red, but a lot of the socks that I have are kind of not red because they are fluffy. And these are, I believe, these were from the pound shop. And, they're a nice, cozy thing. So when it's a bit chilly, when it's winter time, sometimes I just wear the fluffy socks. So yeah. But my favorite color for socks, actually, my first preference would be red, and my second preference would be white. Mm, true story. I don't know why that is. I think maybe black underneath because it kind of just feels like it hides everything. Whereas the socks, they're going to be visible and I want a little bit whiteness to brighten up the day. So over to you. What are you up to? You can share a button if you want to. What are you up to? I'm probably just going to, yeah, stay in bed and I'm going to be hibernating for a while. But lots of love. Recap and wrap up before you finish up. So these games seem cool. There's lots of solo RPGs, and I encourage you all to check out this one thing. Like that link. The link is there. That's a lot of letters in the middle. So I'm going to share it once more. For now, lots of love. I am still stuffed by bears in all of the places. If you message me, I will probably get back. Um, and stuff, but I'm going to delete the fact that I'm away. Share, spread the word. Thank you very much, everyone. But lots of love and bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Do do do. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye. And I hope you have a half decent day. Bye bye.